Hello, everyone. Ella Majors here with Sexy Fit Vegan, and it looks like we are about ready to rock and roll. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to have you all joining us, and I want to get started. The title of today's masterclass is Empowered Vegan Lifestyle: 5 Steps to Ditch Diets and Build a Plant-Strong Body and Life You Love without counting calories, tracking macros, or feeling restricted. So I know a lot of times there's some small talk at the beginning of these types of trainings, but I'm more about getting into action, less about the small talk, and I want to be respectful of our time here. So we're just gonna get this show on the road. Let's do it. All right, you guys. So first thing first, who is this masterclass for? I want to make sure that you feel confident that you are in the right place at the right time here, that the next 45 minutes or so, that this is going to be a valuable use of your time. So ask yourself, do you want to transition to a healthy vegan lifestyle by empowering your mind, improving your emotional fitness, and building strength from the inside out? Is that you? If so, this training is absolutely for you. You're in the right place, and I'm super excited to have you here. Disclaimer, you are not in the right place if you're just looking for a quick fix. If you're looking for something that's unsustainable, you want to lose a bunch of weight in a very short period of time. If that's what you're looking for, a meal plan to follow, a diet plan to follow, or if you're stuck holding on to limiting beliefs and playing the victim, that's not in line with my philosophies, and that's not in line with this training. So I encourage you to hop off now if that's you. If not, if you're still with me, then let's dive in. All right, so what's going to happen in the next 45 minutes so that you can know what you're about to get? So we're going to talk about the process our clients use to ditch the diet mentality, put an end to disordered eating cycles, and by that I mean anything from emotional eating, overeating, restricting binging cycles, stress eating, that sort of a thing. Because instead, you're going to learn here in the next 45 minutes how to adopt what I like to describe as a kick-ass, health-promoting vegan lifestyle that you love, that works for you. Okay, you're going to learn how to start looking and feeling your best in a sustainable way. And I'm all about sustainability. I'll use that word quite a bit. So how to do that in the shortest time possible without counting a single calorie, without obsessing over macros or feeling deprived or restricted. And even if that scares you, it might scare the crap out of you. I've had many clients come in really relying on that type of the macro counting and the calorie counting to keep their weight down. And it's scary to think about giving that up. So just know that you are not alone if that's you. I'm going to teach you how to create the balance in your life that brings out what I like to call your inner badass, because you've all got an inner badass and it's time to bring it out, right? To create a balance that allows you to find pleasure and satisfaction in the food that you're eating without that guilt, right? Without beating yourself up, which is always counterproductive. I'm also going to teach you how to go about building a healthy relationship with food, with your body, and yourself. And that's even if you've struggled for years with feelings of shame about yourself, about your body, about how you look, or if you have had a lack of self-confidence for as long as you can remember, that's okay. I'm here to help with that. So my promise to you is that I'm going to show you in this masterclass how to transition to a healthy vegan lifestyle in a streamlined and empowering way, how to learn to eat intuitively instead of obsessing over calories and macros, and ultimately how to find your freedom. Because when food has the power over you, you are not free. So what is the real problem? Is it a lack of knowledge? No. It's that you haven't made the shifts. It's that these powerful mindset shifts that must be made. And instead, most of us, most of you have been putting Band-Aids on wounds that need surgery. Because I'll give you a hint right now, we're going to get into this soon, it's not about food and it's not about your lack of willpower. Okay? And I'm going to explain that all very carefully coming up. Don't you worry. Okay, so once you make them, you'll also be able to feel confident that you can eat intuitively in a way that will have you feeling energized and revitalized, how to feel amazing in your clothes and without them, of course, and really have you wake up every morning ready to hop out of bed. And you know, in addition to that, the side effect is that you will shed extra body fat and you will achieve homeostasis in your body. And that's, again, that's that sustainability thing that I'm talking about. Once you make these shifts, you're also going to realize that tracking and measuring is completely counterproductive. I'm going to tell you why that is and how to go about rewiring your brain to understand and believe that and make decisions based on that. Okay, you're also going to be empowered to stop using food to numb negative emotions or to hide from painful feelings. And that's no matter what challenging situation you're facing, whatever hurdles are standing in your way. I'm going to show you how to use these empowering tools to get through those. You're also going to be able to listen to your body, getting really in tune with your body, and start being able to eat with enjoyment and without guilt. You'll also start to enjoy the compliments of everyone noticing how great you look and how happy you are. That's a common thing I hear from my clients pretty quickly after we start working together, is that people are starting to come up to them and say, wow, what have you done? You look fantastic. And it's not so much about just losing, quick weight. This is something much bigger, and they can see it. Other people will recognize that. You'll also feel amazing knowing your health is not at the expense of other sentient beings, of animals, the environment, and of our precious planet. And the cool thing is that you're going to do all of this while at the same time kind of rediscovering what makes you truly happy and fulfilled in life. Life is too short to go on feeling miserable and making decisions that are not serving you. So a little bit real quick about who I am. I'm going to keep this short. I am 23 years plant strong, so 23 years vegan, 30 years as a vegetarian. I turned vegetarian. I stopped eating animals when I was 7 years old. I have a deep connection to animals, and compassion for animals is kind of part of what makes me who I am. And so the last 15 years, over 15 years, I've worked as a fitness and wellness professional, helping clients to transform their bodies and their lives. And I did go back and get my master's degree in social work. I specialize in counseling because it was apparent from very early in my career that mindset and being able to help people through emotional issues and pain and challenges is absolutely equally, or is more important, honestly, than having the knowledge about fitness and nutrition. Without the emotional and mindset work, nothing else matters. The nutrition's the easy part, you guys. In 2013, I created my brand, Sexy Fit Vegan. You know, I knew, like I said, from an early age that bringing veganism into the mainstream, making this accessible and available to everybody, and showing people how to do that for themselves, that's been my passion, and that's what I created the brand for. And shortly after that, I published a book, The 6 Weeks to Sexy Abs Meal Plan, which gives just a really good base of knowledge about what it means to live a vegan lifestyle. Over 100 really easy recipes. I'm all about quick and easy and convenient. I spend about 10 minutes in the kitchen at a time, and I show my clients how to do that as well. It does not have to be as complicated, and you do not need to be slaving away in the kitchen. I'll tell you that. So I put this book out to make that give people a good start on that and give a good sample plan to get a good base. Shortly after that, I came out, or I call it coming out, about the struggles that I had with disordered eating that I had for years and years and years, mostly in my 20s, early 30s. And it was at a time when I felt like I had to be this strong beacon of the perfect vegan so that I could inspire others. And if anybody knew I was struggling with disordered eating thoughts and body image issues, that they would not take me as seriously, and that concerned me. And when I realized, you know what, this makes me who I am, and when I was able to get through that and figure out a way through that in such a powerful way, it became apparent that I needed to be transparent and honest with the world about my struggles so that I could help other people that are struggling with the same types of things. And then in 2016, I launched my Plant Empowered coaching programs, and that's what I focus on to this day. That's my life's work. Are these powerful coaching programs that I'll get into a little later. Oh, well, while I'm at it, being transparent and honest here, absolutely, this webinar and this masterclass is super powerful and life-changing on its own. And for some of you that are here right now, this is going to kind of catapult you into a new realm in your life, a new perspective that maybe hadn't opened up before. And if you're able to make these shifts and make them stick on your own, then fantastic. That's what I want. If, however, this really resonates with you, but at the end you feel like you still need some more coaching, some guidance, some more support, then this masterclass brings you alone, then you will have an opportunity at the end of these 45 minutes to schedule a free what we call a breakthrough session to really explore where you're at, the roots of what's going on with you and where you're struggling, and to help you put a game plan together for moving forward. Whether that means my coaching program or a different direction, that's to be determined on the call, and we'll let you know either way. But that will be an opportunity at the end. I'll just let you know that right up front here. All right, so let's talk about discovering these 5 shifts. And like I said, I struggled behind closed doors with these disordered eating issues for many, many years. And for then years after that, I really worked on coming up with how to improve my life in a way that would allow me to enjoy food, to stop counting, to stop stressing, to love me for who I am, regardless of what my body felt or looked like. And so I did. I came up with an intuitive, mindfulness-based approach to eating that allowed me to become healthier and happier than ever before. And when I figured this out for myself, I said, okay, now it's time for me to help others do this. And I don't want it to take everybody else years and years. I don't want people to struggle behind closed doors and do it in silence. I want this to not be shameful anymore. I want this to be something that can be out in the open and to spread this knowledge and love with my clients. So I started sharing, and I created this powerful process, and these 5 shifts that you're about to learn are part of that process. So there are 5 key shifts that you must make in order to go from following diet plans, that yo-yo dieting and obsessing over food, to adopting an empowered approach to eating that's going to have you looking and feeling your best. Not for a short period of time, but again, here's that sustainability word, for the rest of your life. And I'm going to walk you through all 5 of them right now. So let's talk about the first shift, which is ditching the diet mentality. Get this, you guys, 80 to 90% of people on this webinar who have lost weight by dieting will gain it all back and then some. Hard to believe, right? Well, it's time to accept and believe that diets don't work. They're unsustainable, and really they flat out make us miserable, right? I mean, one UCLA study showed that 50% of dieters gained back more than 11 pounds over their starting weight 5 years after the diet. Crazy, right? So counting calories, tracking macros, measuring portions, it's not only unnecessary, but it also really actually sets you up to fail. And I'm talking failing at maintaining the body that you desire, fail at helping you find happiness, true happiness, fails at improving your health, at spending your precious time and energy on the things that you actually value the most in life. And we're going to talk about that more in just a moment. All right, another thing to consider, dieting is stressful, and not just stressful physically, but also, or not just stressful emotionally, right, and mentally, but also physically. So Calorie restriction, for example, that produces stress hormones. Stress hormones act on fat cells to increase the amount of abdominal fat we have. So abdominal fat is associated with medical problems like diabetes and heart disease, and that's regardless of your overall weight. Does that make sense? Regardless of your overall weight. And that's because dieting actually changes your body's biology. Neurologically, your brain becomes overly responsive to food. Food starts looking more appetizing and more tempting, and its reward value goes up. And these are the very, this is the very thing that you're trying to resist, and it becomes harder to resist. And that's a neurological change from dieting. Hormonal changes. As your body loses body fat, the amount of different hormones in your body changes. The level of hormones that help you feel satiated, those decrease, while the hormones that make you feel hungry increase. So, you're also putting yourself at risk for thyroid disorders in that way. Biologically, your metabolism does slow down. Your body uses calories in the most efficient way possible. Our bodies are super smart like that, right? If we're restricting calories, our body has to learn to use them more efficiently. And in time, that's going to result in more stored fat. That comes from the Boston University School of Medicine. We have to understand that there are no foods or pills, no matter how much we want there to be, that magically burn fat. And some of the ingredients in these so-called weight loss foods and pills, they're actually not only dangerous, but they can even be deadly. Americans spent $61 billion in weight loss products in 2010, right? And just one more point, if you lose more than 1 or 2 pounds a week, you're not even losing the body fat. You're losing water, you're losing muscle, you're even losing bone. All right, so the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Disorders warns us that high protein, low carb diets, which are so popular even to this day, can lead to all sorts of physical symptoms and illnesses like nausea, fatigue, weakness, constipation, heart disease, kidney stone, the list goes on. Weight cycling, which is also known as chronic dieting or yo-yo dieting, that is linked to cardiovascular disease, stroke, diabetes, and altered immune functions. Thanks to UCLA for that. And then just think for a moment about this. Labeling food as good or bad, right, which is what we like to do, or that we're good or bad, right? Food is just food, and we're not good or bad for eating food. And we have to we demonize it. We end up demonizing it, right? It becomes punishment or rewards. And food is our life source, though. You guys think about it. It fuels us. It helps us perform better. It gives us a chance to socialize. There's no reason to demonize it. Food is just food. We get to make decisions about what food we choose. And again, we are not good or bad. And when we stop labeling food and ourselves as good or bad and putting all these rules, then our relationship with that food changes. And it changes in a positive way. And I'm going to show you how to go about rewiring your brain to be able to do this, because it is a process of rewiring. So when you create what I like to describe as a diet dictatorship for yourself, and you use your willpower to constantly battle those cravings, what happens is that you actually create the perfect environment for self-sabotage. You create more temptation, not less. So just take a look at this infographic that I created to better understand how this cycle works. Right? So you start up here at the top with the motivation, right? You get in those phases. Think about when you're in those phases in your life where you feel extra motivated. You are ready to do what it takes, right? I'll do whatever it takes to reach my body shape goals or my weight goals. So what do? You go into restriction mode. I'm going to set some strict rules for myself. I'm going to avoid these foods, and I'm going to only have this many calories, and I'm going to cut out all my carbs, and maybe I'm going to just do liquid diet for a little bit. I'm going to restrict, right? And that becomes an obsession. Because when you're doing that, when you're restricting to that degree, you can't go out with your friends to eat, right? And you can't socialize. Um, you can't have a life, right? A life that will bring you joy, and it's certainly not sustainable, right? So you get obsessed. You get obsessed with it. I'm going to follow this diet no matter what it costs me. But it can only last for so long. We are human and we need nutrition. We need to fuel our bodies. So you start to struggle. I can't stop thinking about eating. Now I'm anxious and I'm now afraid because I'm starting to struggle that I'm going to give in. And what's that going to mean about me? And so you start saying, wow, I suck. If I can't do this, I suck. And then what happens? I just can't do it anymore. But I've been so good, right? But your willpower ran out. So you overeat, you binge, you make up for lost time. And then, of course, comes the feelings of guilt and shame. You might say something like, I can't believe I was weak. I can't believe I gave in. I'm going to start fresh tomorrow, right? And this time it'll be stricter rules and I'll be able to do it this time. So there comes back the motivation and you start the cycle all over again. Sustainable? Absolutely not. Now, a lot of people come to me and say, well, Ella, you are talking about not creating a diet dictatorship for yourself, yet you are creating rules by being vegan, right? And here's what I have to say about that. Veganism is not a diet. Veganism is a lifestyle, and it's a way of life that we choose because it's in line with our values. And that's what makes it different than a plant-based diet. Okay, so we're not creating rules so much as saying, what do I value? What do I care about in my life? And what decisions am I going to choose to make based on what I care about and the values that I have? That is a lifestyle. And, not only can a vegan lifestyle promote physical health, it also nurtures your soul, knowing that you're saving the lives of these animals and that you are playing a part in protecting the environment and really saving our planet, And you can have a vegan lifestyle that is unhealthy. So we're promoting here a healthy vegan lifestyle, but a vegan lifestyle can be unhealthy as well. Right? So, but we're choosing when you're wanting to have a healthy vegan lifestyle to value not only the lives of animals, but also your own life and your own health. Does that make sense? So I want to wrap up this first shift by introducing you to Valerie, because Valerie was able to make this shift. And let me just tell you a little bit about her background. She came to me and had recently lost 100 pounds. And she did this on a strict macro counting plan. And when she said she was counting macros, she meant every single morsel that she put in her mouth was being tracked and counted and measured. And she knew that it had worked for her, and so she was terribly fearful of giving that method up. However, she knew very well that this was not how she wanted to live her life, that this was not sustainable, this was not a healthy way to continue. She did not have a healthy relationship with food. She had no relationship with her body almost because she had learned to completely stop listening to it. So what we did was I put her through this process and gave her these tools, and she had massive success. And I just want you to hear it from her mouth about the shift that she was able to make successfully.
I started working with Ella, and she said, "What do you want?" And I said, "I would just really love to be free of having to track, and I feel like it would bring me more peace of mind," right? So I started working with her with that goal. I want to stop tracking, have more peace of mind. And over the past several years, I've gotten closer and closer to thinking about a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle, just with our environment the way it is, with animal mistreatment, and just plain old the effects of health on your body. It seemed like the way to go, but I wasn't sure I could go there. So in the first week, I started using some of the tools and learning some of the things that she was teaching. And after I'd learned just a little bit, it was like all of these disparate different things that I thought were unrelated that I'd been putting band-aids on to get over, right? My anxiety, the way that I ate, my exercise, my social life. Um, all of a sudden, I was solving the problem at the root. So it was no more band-aids. And once I solved the problem at the root and was looking at the world in a different way, all of a sudden the switch was easy. So I went from thinking that I had all these different problems to realizing that now I can trust my body. It's not like I'd been told my whole life where I couldn't be a healthy weight because I was just somehow dysfunctional. Now I knew that I could trust my body. I could trust my mind. And suddenly this compassion for myself made it easy to switch immediately. And I did. Not everyone has to, but I did. I immediately switched into a completely whole food, plant-based vegan diet. And I stopped tracking after a week on the program. I haven't tracked since. It's been about a month and a half now. And I just feel so free. I can't believe how easy it's been. And I feel so much more connected to all the people around me, to the planet. I know that sounds a little hippie-ish, but it's true. I just feel this compassion for myself and for everything around me. And it makes living this way so rewarding and so compelling. And I just feel like I'm bursting, that I want to share the possibilities with everyone around me. So I know that I will continue to learn more. I mean, the food that I'm eating is joyful and beautiful. Even my husband has lost about 20 pounds just from eating this food. And he says that he loves having all this beautiful, plant-based food around. It makes him feel good. He's got more energy as well. And my son is learning a lot more about how to be healthy. And he talks about it. He's 4 years old and he's telling people that he listens to his body to decide whether or not he needs to eat more or what he wants to eat. And he exercises, right? So I am so grateful to Ella. Thank you, Ella Majors. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to all the other people in this program.
So there you go, and we are ready to move on to the second shift, which is aligning your actions with your values. And here's the deal. Happiness is not waiting for you in the future. It's not there in the future waiting for when you lose weight or ready for you when you get that promotion. Happiness is within you right now, but maybe you just can't access it. Why? Why can't you access it? Probably because you're not focused on what will nourish you on the deepest level. Basically your values, right? What will create a sense of purpose in your life, of fulfillment, thinking about the legacy you want to leave the world. So let me ask you this. How do you make decisions about what you're going to eat most of the time? Usually, when we think about it, we try to make decisions based on what we think will make us happy in the future. Right? If will this help me lose weight? Because when I lose weight, that's when I'll be happy. Right? Or we're so consumed with negative emotion or pain that we're going through that we may just go into a mode of mindlessness, right? And just eat to numb negative emotion. Rarely do we think, is what I'm about to eat going to serve me on my quest for a fit, joyful vegan lifestyle? Because when we do think about that, when we do consider our values and what we care about most in this world, then decisions might shift, right? So let's talk for a moment about the consequences of not aligning your actions with your values, which is probably the place you're in right now if you're still here with me. So negative emotions, feeling unfulfilled, focusing on superficial things like having that perfect bikini body, right? Or what others will think about you. What about stress, depression, anxiety? Those are all symptoms. Emotional eating, self-sabotage, inauthentic relationships. So my question for you is this. What do you value most in life? Is it health, compassion for animals, compassion for other people, family, strength, freedom, joy? Ask yourself, what are your top 5? And then ask yourself this, is your mind consumed with how to make decisions that are in line with those values? Or are you consumed with thinking about what you should or shouldn't eat to get that perfect body? Because again, your happiness, right, is on the other side of that perfect body. Wrong. That's wrong. So it takes, it takes living integrity, having courage to be authentic that's going to set you up to make conscious and mindful decisions that are in line with what's truly important to you in your life. And how can you get there? How can you get to that place? Well, there's some powerful tools to learn. And the first step is becoming the observer of your mind. When you're able to approach your thoughts with curiosity, with compassion for yourself, when you're able to approach those and start to understand the thoughts that are causing the feelings that you're having, the emotions, only then can you start to make these shifts, right? So again, we have to do this from a place of compassion for ourselves, not from being angry at ourselves or beating ourselves up, because that is always going to be counterproductive. So let's talk now about the results of aligning your actions with your values. And that's everything from feeling fulfilled in your life, gaining confidence, feeling energized, manifesting and attracting the outcomes that you want in your life, and being able to make decisions that bring you health and joy. So now ask yourself this: what do I need to do today to start aligning my way of life with what I truly value most? And how will I go about making those changes in the most efficient and effective way so that this doesn't take years or it doesn't fade in the meantime? I want to share with you a post, and this is from our private Facebook group of our Plant Empowered Coaching Program, because you know what, countless clients have come to work with me really wary to start the program because they're unsure if they will have the willpower to go vegan. And my response is always, that's okay. You don't have to worry about that. Because you know what, once people go through this powerful process of examining your values, creating a clear vision of the life you want to lead, and developing a healthy relationship with yourself, there's again no need to rely on willpower anymore. And this is a hard concept to grasp right now, I know, but it becomes clear pretty quickly once you put your, once you go all in on this process and you start to make choices that make you feel good, not only on a physical level, but also on an emotional and spiritual level. This client says, one of the mental barriers I encountered in trying to fully embrace a whole foods plant-based diet was the rules I had picked up over time. With Ella's help, I realized over the years that I had adopted various rules about fitness and nutrition, and that I had become invested in compliance in these as if they were pivotal to my weight loss or well-being. Such as I try to avoid processed foods, believing wholly that whole foods are supreme. While this is true, I would negotiate prohibitions on things like bread or fairly decent snack foods like chickpea toast. I would cling to diet perfection all week, then binge on a greasy hamburger or something on the weekends. What I learned was that freeing myself of rules and accepting the journey within reasonable parameters was far more effective. I decided that being vegan was more important to me than a perfect diet, and that I could always nail down a diet regimen at a later time if I needed to. But first, freedom of being vegan was the goal. Allowing myself to eat a Subway veggie sandwich, despite their horrible chemical bread, was a better choice than binging on a greasy hamburger. And eating the chickpea toast was way better choice than candy. Lessons of love. Thanks, Ella. Pretty cool, right? All right, and that brings us to our third shift: respect, love, and listen to your body. Did you know that women who accept their bodies and eat intuitively have lower BMIs, body mass indexes, than those who diet due to body dissatisfaction? You have to know this. Your body is unique, and diets they simply don't address your specific needs. Right? So, when you eat consciously and mindfully and intuitively, your body will find its way to homeostasis, and you're going to be able to figure out the formula that works for you that will allow you to maintain a body that you feel proud of and comfortable in and that you love for the rest of your life. A culmination of 25 studies on intuitive eating showed that intuitive eaters have lower body mass index levels, lower disordered eating and eating disorders, eat a variety of foods, enjoy eating, have better cholesterol levels, and a psychological hardiness, which includes well-being and resilience. That's pretty cool, right? That's from a research study done in 2012 by Tribble and Resch. All right, so wrap your brain around this one. Accepting your body as it is now is a prerequisite for transforming it. And I'm dead serious here, you guys. Being critical of your body and judging yourself, judging who you are based on what your body looks like will always lead to self-sabotage. When you have an unhealthy relationship with your body, it affects every aspect of your life. Your confidence is shot. You hold yourself back on every level. I mean, relationships, career, to name a few. You know, you prevent yourself from growing as a human being. You block progress. You prevent joy. You keep yourself stuck. You will not successfully make sustainable changes that will allow you to drop the extra weight and keep it off. And that's a side effect of having a healthy relationship with food, your body, and yourself. You got to know that your body is talking to you, and with all the rules and the diet dictatorship, you're not able to listen. So now we have to stop. We have to rewire your brain and start listening to your body. It is telling you what you need. I want to tell you about Stephanie. Stephanie, not only did she advance her career, but she also ended up losing 30 pounds as another side effect of a healthy body image. And she had to go through this. She had to do the work, guys, and she worked. She worked for this. She embraced this process, and it was not an easy one. What does she say here in our Facebook group? Good morning. I am unfortunately going to miss our group call this afternoon. It's been a stressful couple of days here with many changes and difficult personalities. She's at a training for her job. I wanted to share my celebration with you, though. We do a lot of celebrating in our program. Yesterday, I had the confidence and the eloquence to go to the director of my division and lay out 2 operational and systemic problems, as well as solutions as I see them. I skipped over a few levels of my chain of command because they weren't listening. Haven't been listening for a year. This was difficult, but just a little while ago, I would have told myself it was impossible because I was being disloyal. However, the real reason would have been because I lacked the confidence and freedom to express my real thoughts and opinions to someone I deemed so much higher than myself. And to be honest, I would have been more worried about how big my butt looked in my pants or how much my arms jiggled, and if anyone noticed, to have been able to analyze and articulate the problems clearly. 2 months ago, this would not have been possible for me because of the messages I was giving myself, all rooted in my poor body image. This is what this program, working with Ella and having a safe group to share, has done for me. I have lived on that edge of consistent belief in myself and constant self-doubt for most of my adult life. I am clearly ready to change all that and grab my freedom and power over my inaccurate thoughts. Wow, how powerful is that? And thank you, Stephanie, for letting us share that. All right, and we are on to the 4th shift, which is finding freedom in balance. How many times have you experienced something like this? You're hungry and you're trying to hold off until dinner, but decide you just have to grab a little something to tide you over. So you open the cabinet and, see that jar of peanut butter and say to yourself, 1 little scoop, that will do it for me, that'll tide me over. So you take out a spoon and you dip it in and you find yourself enjoying that spoonful of peanut butter, and you say, okay, well, that didn't quite do it, so just 1 more. Oh, but wow, it's so good. And you're still just as hungry as you were a few minutes ago, so you go for 1 more. And then you've realized that you've just had so many spoonfuls that you probably had over 500 calories and 45 grams of fat, and think, oh shit. So you get the case of the effits, as a lot of my clients like to call them, which I think is just fantastic. You know what I mean, the effits. And you tell yourself that you will start fresh in the morning. And then you go about creating a plan in your head how to make up those extra calories by, telling yourself you'll cut your calories in half tomorrow, and you'll do an extra spin class all week. So then you go on and skip dinner that night, and you binge on some popcorn and chocolate instead because you're going to be all in tomorrow, but you've already screwed up today. So what's the point? Then you end up going to bed feeling like crap, wake up feeling bloated and depressed. It's this all or nothing mentality that keeps us stuck in these detrimental, disordered cycles. So here's what I'm going to offer you. Trying to be perfect is not the answer. Balance is. So we have to do that by learning to eat mindfully, to eat intuitively, consciously. Once we do that, we are able to find a balance and we're able to make decisions that serve us best, that bring us joy, that energize us. And when I talk about energy, I'm talking about physically, yes, but absolutely emotionally and spiritually as well. We gain power over food instead of allowing food to have power over us. And when you find pleasure in the food that you eat, you're able to become satisfied sooner. While when you deny yourself over and over, that's when you find yourself in a constant state of deprivation, and you will end up overeating. And it won't be binging on celery and carrots, you guys, right? And when it is that emotional eating, that's not about pleasure. That's not about satisfaction. That's distraction. As distraction from negative emotions, and what it leads to is feelings of guilt and shame, which cause even more stress and just exacerbates this vicious cycle. So another key to building a healthy relationship with food in your body is separating food from fitness. And I say that because, first of all, you can't outrun your fork, and I talk about that a lot when we're trying to make up for all the lost or all the calories that we ate by working out. It's a losing battle, okay? No matter how hard you work out, you're not going to be able to make up for those calories. And additionally, by working out to make up for eating so-called badly, you've all of a sudden made exercise a punishment, right? And when we're talking about creating a sustainable, fit, vegan lifestyle, exercise should not be a punishment, right? You're gonna, by making it a punishment, you are working out because you hate your body or yourself or your decisions or whatever it is, instead of working out and exercising because you actually love your body and you care about it. When we use it as punishment, it takes all the fun and enjoyment out of exercise and out of fitness. When you work out to gain strength, though, when you say, I want to be a strong human being, I want functional fitness so that I can have a healthy, limber body for years and years to come, where I'm able to continue doing all the activities that bring me joy and that I love, then that's a whole different thing. And that's what we want to do. We want to find that balance, not the balance between trying to make up for calories that we eat. Food should be food. Exercise should be exercise. We should eat to fuel our bodies and because we love ourselves and we want to serve ourselves, and exercise for the same reasons. Right? And I call it intuitive exercising. It's exercising in a way that works for you, that you love, so that it will become a sustainable part of your way of life. There we go. Work out because you love your body, not because you hate it. And Stephanie says, I have to celebrate with you. I took my girls out for breakfast while my son was at baseball practice. I looked at the menu and chose A, what looked delicious, B, what I knew would make me feel great for the day ahead, C, what I knew was in line with my values, D, without thought of calories, fat, regret, or longing. This was done without a lot of analyzing and thinking about what I will give up later to eat now, or how many squats I should do to burn it off. I was focused on my gorgeous girls, and they enjoyed trying my avocado toast with me. This is freedom. And that's what I'm talking about. It's that simple, yet it's not that simple to get to that place. But once you're there, it really is that simple. Let's also look at Erin. Um, Erin had recently decided to go vegan when she came to me, but she was used to maintaining her weight by following a diet plan from a trainer that required her to track and measure her calories, counting, she was counting her macros, portion sizes. She was carrying around a scale in her purse so that she could measure. So, I mean, her social life was shot. But she put, like Valerie, Erin agreed to put her fears of gaining weight aside and follow this powerful process that I laid out for her. And by the end of 6 weeks, Erin could hardly believe how free and amazing she felt. She had rekindled relationship with friends that she had avoided going out to eat with when she was having to track everything. And for the first time in years, she started enjoying her food and actually having some fun playing around in the kitchen. And on top of that, as a side effect, she lost body fat and felt comfortable in clothes she hadn't fit well in for years. All right, we are on to the fifth and final shift, which is investing in empowering yourself. So for most of my clients, when I ask them, when was the last time you invested, and I'm talking time or money, in yourself in a way that will help you align your actions with your values? There's always a long pause, followed by usually something like, I can't even remember the last time, Ella. And, I'm not talking about paying off your mortgage here or sending your kid to college or buying that new car you've always wanted. These are important things, yeah. But we're talking you time, self-care, anything that empowers you to be the most authentic, healthy, joyful human being that you can be. So when was the last time that you made yourself the top priority in your life? And this is not about being selfish, you guys. This is about the fact that you have probably been taking care of everyone else and putting your own needs in front of your own, between your family and work and friends, etc., for so many years, right? And um, instead of really going through a transformational process, um, we're looking at trying to do things quickly because you're not putting yourself as top priority. You're looking for the quick and easy fixes, right? And those things, those are the band-aids. Those are the band-aids, those meal plans, when there's a bigger picture here. Because when you can't take the time or energy for you, then you're not going to be good for anybody else, So taking care of you is absolutely in line with valuing other people, with valuing your family, your friends, the people that you love. I'm also going to say this. Hiring a trainer or nutritionist when you have disordered eating cycles or issues, or you have a poor body image, low self-confidence, it's like throwing money in the trash. These are the band-aids we're talking about here. Spending time researching diets and meal plans, again, when you have these bigger issues, is a waste. Think about this for a moment. What would you do with all of that time and energy that you are currently spending thinking about, researching, measuring, tracking macros, all those things that you're doing right now, kind of obsessing over and spending your time and energy? Think about all of that time and energy that you could be spending doing the things that you actually care about in life. What would you do with that? Well, where would your life go if you use that for you? All right, I'm going to say it. When it comes to coaches, do not take advice from anyone who claims that a certain diet will work for you because it worked for them or it worked for some of their clients, because this is biased information and it will not help you. Coaches who assign you meal plans and workout regimens are profiting by keeping you disempowered. And here we go with I think it must be my favorite analogy, but it's really true. They're putting band-aids on wounds that need surgery. They're keeping you stuck by leading you to believe that they know your body better than you do, and they're withholding the tools that you need for this a mind-blowing total life transformation, and that's the sustainable piece of this. So, and I'm not saying at all, I'm not saying that these coaches or trainers are doing this purposefully with malintent. A lot of them just don't know any better. They're doing the very best they can, and we're keeping them employed, right? Whereas an empowering coach knows that transformation actually starts in the mind. The ability to change your thoughts is infinitely powerful and will allow you to get the body and the life that you've always wanted. This is the way. These coaching tools allow you to change the thoughts that are triggering the negative emotions that are causing you to make self-defeating choices. And that comes, food is the big one when we're talking about this. Food is the big one. So remember this, when it comes to coaching, you get what you pay for. And that's just the truth of the matter. How much money you've spent on trainers, dietitians, therapists. Think about how much money you spend on those things that they make their money by keeping you coming back for more and more and more. And again, no malintent, and a lot of times it takes years, but these things can work, right? But how are you going to continue to grow on your own if you don't have the tools to figure this out yourself? And I want you to ask yourself, how much value do you place on your health and happiness? Is it worth the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you may have spent over the years on these types of band-aids that have ended up failing you? Think about that. The diet the diet foods, the protein shakes, the cellulite creams, tummy tuck belts, I don't know, all these quick fixes that haven't worked for you. And then think about, what about all the medical bills that maybe you've already had to pay already, or that you fear will come in the future if you don't get the right guidance now? It's time to do this once and for all, to choose to invest in a program that was founded by a coach who understands that you are a unique individual with different needs than anyone else on the planet. A coach whose mission is to empower you to step into the life of your dreams. Let's take Jamie, and she did give us permission to post this. She says in our group that, I've read the book and joined the program, and I can't say enough good things regarding the program. Over the years, I've had many trainers or coaches, and they've always asked up front for my weight, measurements, pictures to compare my progress, asked me to count macros, etc. Ella didn't ask for any of that. She wasn't interested in changing my body or my weight. The focus has been on changing my mindset, and it has been one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Oddly enough, I'm noticing tons of changes in my body as well. Change your mind and the rest will follow. I'm 42 years old and I've struggled with an eating disorder mentality since I was 15. It's crazy how I sabotaged myself all these years for nothing. I can't explain the freedom that has come from changing my mindset. If you're on the fence, you owe this to yourself. I'm a completely different person, and it's trickling down to every other aspect of my life, as well as into my relationships I have with all of those close to me. Thank you, Ella. Wow. Powerful stuff, you guys. Powerful stuff. So, as a recap, today I promised to show you how to ditch the diet mentality, put an end to disordered eating cycles, and adopt a health-promoting vegan lifestyle. We talked about how to start looking and feeling your best in the shortest time possible without tracking, measuring, or feeling deprived. How to build a healthy relationship with food, your body, and most importantly, yourself. How to create the balance in your life that brings joy and freedom. And all in all, how to transition to a healthy vegan lifestyle in an streamlined and empowering way. Learn to eat intuitively instead of obsessing over calories and macros, and to ultimately find your freedom. So, what do you need to win? You need to, number 1, ditch the diet mentality. Number 2, align your actions with your values. Number 3, respect, love, and listen to your body. Number 4, find freedom with balance. And number 5, invest in empowering yourself. So, we're going to wrap it up here in just a moment. You have a choice now. If you're still here, it means the information I've covered is resonating with you. It means something to you, and you now have a decision to make. You can do one of two things. You can take the information I've given you and apply it to the best of your ability on your own. Again, for some people, this means it will be really helpful moving forward. But for other people, this means it will turn into just another thing that you tried half-assed, that fades away, that you end up forgetting all about and reverting right back into your old mindset and unhealthy habits. And this is so likely because rewiring your brain is no small or easy task. You guys, it does take work. I am straight up about that. It takes a commitment. It's a process that requires practice and consistency. Falling back into the cycle of struggling with shame behind closed doors and allowing food to consume your life is unfortunately, a likely outcome here. Continuing to feel confused and overwhelmed by all the conflicting information out there, letting fear dictate how much of your precious time and energy you spend tracking every single calorie and macro in MyFitnessPal, as you keep telling your friends, that you can't go out to eat because it doesn't fit your diet. Those are likely scenarios as well. I'm offering an alternative for you today, though. You can choose to leave all of that BS behind for good and move forward with confidence that you never have to diet again, that you'll be able to get that plant strong, healthy body and to bring pleasure and satisfaction into your life. And I'm not talking about for a few weeks here, you guys, or a few months or even a few years. I'm talking about for the rest of your life. That's a transformation. And that you'll be able to make this incredible transformation in an efficient, empowering way. So if that's what you want, here's what I have for you. So here's how I can help. My team and I have set aside some time in the next 72 hours to speak with you individually about how you can apply the concepts you've learned today to your life starting today. I've been doing this a really long time, you guys, and whatever your biggest challenges are, I've seen them and I know how to coach you through them. So during this life-changing session, we will work with you. We're going to help you create a step-by-step game plan for empowering you to transition to a fit vegan lifestyle where you can eat intuitively and build a strong, healthy body that you're proud of. And now you're probably asking, well, Ella, how much is this valuable call going to cost? Nothing. It's free. It's absolutely free. And now you're going to ask, what's the catch? Ella, what's the catch? Well, there is one, and I'm going to tell you what it is right now. This offer is not for everyone. So please listen carefully. You first of all must be coachable and willing to push past your fears and try a new way for achieving your dream lifestyle. You must be willing to get real and raw, to be vulnerable, because we have to dig deep. You guys, we have to dig deep and discover or rediscover yourself, your values, and what you truly want out of life. You must be willing or wanting to seek a sustainable solution. Again, I've made this clear from the beginning, this is not a quick fix and it takes work. So you got to be ready to commit to doing the work it takes for a total transformation. We're talking about changing habits here that you've had a really long time. We're talking about rewiring your brain here and making these shifts that require a lot of practice and a lot of consistency. But if that is you, if you're there, if you're in that place, if you're ready to make that commitment to once we put this game plan together for you, that you're willing to go all in and follow it. If that's you, then absolutely, I want to talk to you. We want you to book a session, and we want you to do it now because we don't have much time. Why I'm doing this. So why are you doing this, Ella? Well, number one, helping people transition to an empowering lifestyle is my life's work. It's really that simple. There's nothing, absolutely nothing I care more about in this world. I literally wake up every single morning driven to do everything in my power to make the world a better place for all living beings. And I can do this by helping you, and I can do this by helping you transform your life. The process for applying for this 100% free breakthrough session is simple. All you have to do is go to sexyfitvegan.com/apply, and I will tell you right now that spaces are very limited. So it's time to take action now. I'm going to encourage you to be proactive here. Change starts right now. Like Eckhart Tolle says, the time is now. From the very beginning of this, I said, where are you on your journey? Are you in a place where you're ready to put aside the excuses, where you are done playing the victim, that you're ready to move forward in your life in a big and powerful way. You said yes, you're still here. Don't stop now. Now's the time. Open up a new tab on your computer right this moment and sign up now before all the slots are filled. This is a very special opportunity and it's time to take advantage. All right, so head on over sexyfitvegan.com/apply. And really, you guys, it's been a true pleasure sharing my passion with you today. And I really look forward to speaking with you guys soon. All right, bye.